Hi there, hope you're having a good day and welcome back to another video. Today we have the shoes that I was personally very excited for, especially after seeing Shai Gilgeous-Alexander wearing these during the off-season, and this is the Converse All-Star BB Prototype CX. So these guys should be available now on the Converse website for $120 US. Priced decently, I would say. And the Vegas Lights colorway, I actually kind of like those better now. But anyways, the most notable part about this shoe is just look at this crazy midsole. We rarely see shoes that have this type of exaggerated look too often. I like it. Converse has been making really good performance basketball shoes since they got back into it. The BB Shift is actually one of my favorite low top shoes this year. So how does the BB Prototype perform? Let's get right into some details. They come in the regular black Converse box. On the first look, this is a mid-top shoe. On the back end, you can see how high up the midsole goes. The stitching almost went up to the collar area. It uses their CX foam and it has these like vertical lines. They might feel pretty hard and sturdy, but I'll tell you now that on feet, there's no stiff feeling at all. There is a 4-foot zoom unit as well. You know, Converse is with Nike now, so that'll be pretty common. Materials-wise, the toe box is mainly a suede material that feels nice in hand. Some leather on there too, also mixed with some mesh materials moving to the midfoot area. This heel tab, or what they call an integrated pull tab, sticks up really high. In my opinion, it's a little bit unnecessary. And here's what the traction pattern looks like on the rubber also. It's a multi-directional linear pattern with nubs on there. I honestly wouldn't recommend using these outdoors, and we'll talk about the traction performance very soon. And lastly, with the weight, they are about average for mid-top at 420 grams for my size 10 pair. On feet, they feel just fine, not too heavy, but also not a lightweight shoe either. As to how the BB Prototype performs on the court, the cushioning is definitely a strong aspect of the shoe, as expected. The CX foam feels very soft and responsive at the same time on feet. A nice compression under the heels, and it transitions fluently as well. You can really feel the foam underneath your foot, so I mostly play in low top shoes nowadays, and compared to those, these guys have a much more elevated court feel. In terms of traction, I've had a split experience with these. So on a very clean court, the traction was excellent and very squeaky in the indoor gym. Pretty sticky rubber it felt like, no issues at all. But going back to my usual dusty court, it lost its magic and the traction was not as good. They did pick up dust very quickly and it did affect the grip a little bit. Definitely not as sharp as the clean court performance goes. So keep that in mind if you normally play on a dusty court. With the fit, it can be really tricky on these. I actually went down a half size. I was able to try them out in store first. Going true to size, it was for sure tight enough, but lengthwise, I had about like a 2-finger space at the back, so I thought I'd just size down to avoid heel slippage. But I would say narrower than average width, especially in the 4-foot area. I just went all out this time to avoid heel slippage, so I would probably still suggest going true to size for most people, if that makes sense. If you have really wide feet, this is probably not the best option for you, because sizing up, what does this shape remind us of? The KD15s, right? Breathability, I say, is about average, not the best like those thin mesh upper ones, and stability is great. In this aspect, this shoe sort of felt like the Puma Court Rider 2, but in a higher cut. The outrigger part works really well to contain your feet in a secure way for most types of movements. Also, given the nice compression, the CX foam absorbs impact very well. Overall, the BB Prototype has very solid performance in my opinion, especially if you prioritize a nice cushioning setup or if you don't like your shoes to be too low to the ground. These will give you that elevated feel with good compression. I wish Converse could make more performance models, maybe even a signature shoe for SGA later on. Well, definitely not Draymond now. My first ever pair of basketball shoes was the Converse D-Wade. I believe it was like the 1.3. My mom bought me those back in like grade 6. Anyways, let me know your thoughts on these new Converse shoes down in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.